I will be making this room today with no English instructions.
The instructions are all in Chinese, so it's going to be a little difficult. This is the one I'm making, because that's the one I have. There you go. It is a little busy, and I might cut down some of the items. I will make them all, but not put them all in this. This came courtesy of Kickskill Radio and Banggood.com. I won a giveaway either last year or the year before, but I find this intimidating. I think you would too if it was all in Chinese. Right now I'm just cutting out the floor because that is the easiest one to do, and I'm gluing it with a glue stick. If it's in the winter, not the best thing to use because it will dry very quickly, and if you mess up, it is impossible to pull it off and then re-glue it. All I've done is the floor, but the floor was easy to figure out which one it was because these are purple. These are where the lights go, and it's the only way to tell what direction this is supposed to go in. This is how it goes. Everything for the furniture. Wish they would have separated these bags because that is the furniture and all the night tables, and how am I supposed to tell? I mean, it's crazy. Oh, bag B. Did get my X-Acto knife so I can cut out the window. I am just cutting everything out. It just ripped right out. I'm not happy with this set. So let's see what I can do to fix this. So I'm doing this corner first of one of the corner that ripped off completely. It looks okay. Too bad it's backwards. This part is going to call when good craft's gone bad. I thought that was the light, but it's the reflection of this light. So, since it's the reflection of this light, that's not the light, that's the light. So it was on the wrong side. Yeah, this is not going well. Why you need English instructions or to watch a lot of these videos before you do them. And I have watched a good amount, but a lot of them are like sped up completely. So you're not seeing the whole effect. And since you're not seeing the whole effect, little issues like this that are going to rise are going to be a problem. Okay, I'm going to have to put a curtain over that. And it's very cold and dry here. I can adjust this a bit. For a second, I thought it was upside down. It is. It is upside down. I hate this so much. I will. Glue, glue, glue. This is called Exercises in Crafting Disasters. Tried to adjust it one more time and it ripped. Practically had to break my fingers to get this in. It busted through the out corner. This, well, should I rename this Uninstructed or should I name it When Crafting is Evil? Evil, evil Chinese crafting. When crafting goes wrong. So they want school glue? School glue does not hold at all. this is the instructions for the bed. They're just showing me a picture of all the parts. Now I've glued the building part, the walls together with an epoxy glue. I had that do that in another room. I also put on the window frame. Still not great looking, and I had to do that in another room because of the smell. It's quite toxic. You don't want to smell glue like that. You want to do that in a well-ventilated room so you don't make yourself sick. I do realize why they have so many furniture pieces. Like, oh, there's too much stuff in that room. Inevitably, they know you're going to mess up, and that is just to hide all your mistakes. Now, here are the instructions for the bed. They look pretty self-explanatory, so I was able to do this fairly quickly. I did this, of course, with a hot glue gun, even though it's the worst type of glue to use in my climate, just because to make this, keep it together, and do it quickly without it falling apart, it was the best glue option for me. So I put these pegs on so they were even with the headboard. Then after that I put on this part, decorative part, and this decorative part, and then glued it together. Now, when I glued this together even, and it is even, I could tell that it was still very flimsy, so I glued it a lot on the bottom.
It's a little tricky. These little parts they're tricky.
They number everything in here, but they don't number the actual parts. So it makes it a little difficult. I'm gonna skip this cabinet for a while because it's supposed to have mesh inside that you put in here. There's no mesh in the package. I am just making the rod to put up a curtain. I needed something really, really small and the right size. This is a lollipop stick, and I'm coating it with my favorite paint. This is metallic paint. It's supposed to be fabric paint. I'm not sure if it is because everything's in Chinese. I bought this from eBay a while back. It was super cheap, but it works super well. And because it's paper, it's pretty easy to coat. You just put on one coat, wait for it to dry, and then put on another, and it dries pretty quickly. After I've coated it, I'm just going to use beads and sew up some material for curtains, and then put those up to cover up the mistakes in the wall. I am going to be using this shoe glue, which I use to put the unit together, to put in the rod for the curtain to cover up that little snafu with the wallpaper. I may have a little excess glue, but it shouldn't be too bad. And this is my first attempt of doing this. And this is one of the things that I'm adding myself, that I'm doing all myself, that I designed. And I did plan to do this before I even messed up. And now I am making my curtains, pinning them and using a sewing machine. The sewing machine acted up quite a bit, so about half of the curtain is hand sewn. And you do have to put the curtain on in the rod before you put it on to the glued beads. I made 2 of these curtains. It took a long time, but I actually only had room for one. And now I'm putting together some of the other little furniture. It actually took me a while to figure out how to put this furniture together because they did not have any instructions whatsoever. Plus, they had a lot of other pieces that were the same color. They had a lot of white and a lot of purple, and putting everything together was really difficult. Now I'm putting together one of the last pieces I will be putting together because I am missing part of the table, and I just did not want to glue too much stuff to the wall, so I'm not doing the shelving unit. And I'm also going to be doing just a couple little things to put in that shelving unit. So I will show you everything I've done in the room. I've got a doll now. I made the bed. I made this night table. They are meant to actually be glued in all together, and then you're supposed to put in glass boxes, and then they'll be for display. I rather like the idea of having them for doll stories, so I'm not going to be doing that. And I also thought that it was a little too busy and too much going on from the original design. And also, though the large pieces are doable, they're very doable. The smaller pieces are not without the instructions. So that's what the room would have looked like completed. A little too much stuff. But the small little stuff is completely undoable without the instructions. I made a book from in there. There was one book that actually had pages to go into it, so I made that. I put what I believe are fabric pieces because that's what they look like in that one. I did not put the front on this because I could not find it. The front was completely white and nothing was separated, and so it was stuck to this, and it could not be seen because it was stuck to that in between other pieces of fabric. So I put in the rug. I made my own working curtain rod. So that works. You can move this. You can cover the window. You can open this, put a little pin in it, keep the shade open. Nice little drapery. I hand sewed most of this. I did use the sewing machine for part of it, but it kept breaking. I put in a little baby LOL doll because she's the only doll that will fit. And I put in her little pig toy. That is a pig. I believe it's antique or vintage. I also made that out of the pieces that were in there. That was quite easy, but I cannot do the electrical. You have the option of making a light. I cannot do the electrical without any instructions. There are absolutely no instructions. There's words, but they're all in Chinese. So you can tell me how you think I did, considering that I had absolutely no instructions except for pictures, and it was quite difficult to put some of these items together because they're labeled in the book, but they're not, the pieces aren't labeled, and they were all together. I wanted to announce all 3 winners of my squishy giveaway, but I can't really because one of them never contacted me back. So Mel, who originally won the 2nd place prize, I actually promoted her to the 1st place prize because she contacted me back, and the first place prize winner did not. Little Bell or Lil Bell won the third place prize. And if PotatoPug wants to get the second place prize, which was silicone squish eats, she will have to contact me before Wednesday. Little Bell contacted me and Mel did, but PotatoPug did not. If you want your prize still, you need to contact me before next Wednesday, or I will have to pick someone else. By then it's been 2 weeks. Congratulations to the winner, and I hope you enjoy your prizes.